Good morning, everybody. This is Stacy with our DMOpro. So happy you're here. I wanted to give a couple of announcements. One is that sadly, I had to discontinue the DMO app. When I was looking at how much I was spending to keep up, it was about $1,000 a year. And the first year, we more than paid for it with everyone chipping in. And then this last year, I lost about $400 on it. And I was like, I don't think that this is working effectively for all of us to keep going with it. So if you had a subscription and you had not paid that 6 months, you'll get a refund. I was able to refund whatever that balance was. So just know, I think Myra said this morning she got that and was like, "What is this?" And so that was a refund for your prorated, I guess is what you would call it, for what you had left on the 6 month plan, and then it will stop paying anything for the monthly plans. And I think it even refunded part of that. So just wanting you guys to know that. And I'm always looking at like, where do I house these videos, but is it even something that people are going back to and listening to? And when I took the information off of the app and I put it into like a list of all of them, I was shocked at how many videos that we've done. Like we've been super consistent the last over 2 years, which is just really phenomenal to you guys. So thank you for being a part of this. And so I was just like, is this really the best place to house them? Are you guys going back and listening to them? I go and like, if I have a new team member, I'll go through and I'll find certain videos that are, connecting with their answers or the questions they have. Like, how do I start a conversation with someone? So I was using it that way, but I don't know that everyone else was. And so with the, wonderful things of technology, I'm looking at, putting those videos into an AI system where it pulls all of the relevant information out and compiles it. Maybe I can do an ebook or some sort of coursework that is a lot more simple, something that we could maybe even house it on our DMO website. There's lots of options, but I had to renew this month by the 30th or, go ahead and renew and pay another year's fee or just decide to do something else. So that was my choice. I just was like, I just don't think that this is serving us well like it had in the past. And so it's always good to move on to something else. So once I figure all of that out, I'll let you guys know. But I don't think it's wise to just have 2 years worth of videos. It was so many videos. I was like, oh my gosh, like, and then I was thinking, oh, I need to listen to that one again. Oh, that would be helpful. I probably could use that one. So I want to keep the information, but somehow can I pull it together, compile it in a way that's more effective? And, that's hours and hours if somebody were to go back and listen. I just don't think any of us will do that. So I'll keep you guys updated. I think it's fun to do new things and try new things. It was fun to build an app, and I can say, I built an app. I had an app for my business, which is kind of fun. Just a challenge to learn something new, but it definitely was time to move on. So just wanted to let you guys know that. So if you still owed, or if you were on a subscription plan, just be looking for a refund in your bank account for that. So as I was thinking about this morning, what I wanted to talk about, I pulled this shirt out of the closet today just to wear, and I thought, you know what, let's go with this. So my shirt says, "I'm not bossy, I'm just aggressively helpful." And a friend of mine, she helps me with Mom's Life, the moms group that I do. And this came about, this shirt, because she had been helping with a group that was packing like backpacks full of school supplies for the local community. And she's new to the community, so she doesn't know like who's in charge, but there were a bunch of people just standing around, a bunch of teenagers. So she felt like she was, on duty for a couple of hours. She was volunteering. So she started getting people in order and getting some system going. And, what other people thought bossy, she felt was just being helpful, right? And she kind of got reprimanded. She did get reprimanded by the guy that was in charge of it. And he was like, "Do you know who I am?" And he has a big name in this community. And she was like, "No, and I don't really care." Like, I'm just trying to help. Like, she was not there to be in charge, but it kind of felt like nobody else was. And so she stepped in. So she was telling me about it, and her feelings were really hurt by this person because she had, she was volunteering. She didn't have to be there. And her heart is to help. Like, she is my helper in so many areas. I've always said I've needed like an assistant, and then God brings me Natasha. So Natasha, if you're, I tell her all the time, thank you so much, thank you so much. She's just really efficient at what she does, and I just love her. We became very good friends very quickly, but we were laughing about it, and I said, you need a shirt that says, I'm not bossy, I'm just helpful. So then I was like, I'm going to look and see if there is one. So there was. So I bought her one and I bought me one, and we just kind of laughed about it, and we wear it together sometimes. But I just thought, there is some truth to that. There is a fine line between being bossy and being helpful, right? And aggressively helpful. We kind of have to be aggressively helpful with our follow through and our follow up with our Juice Plus business, because people are busy. They just get distracted. I'm busy. I get distracted. Of course, we know we have to have systems, and the DMO planner is still where I write things down because I'm not going to remember things. But I also use my phone as a place in notes. I have I don't even know how many notes I have in my phone, but I refer back to them all the time, whether it's verbiage that I want to send to somebody, and I do have boards for that sort of thing too, but I just, I just need someplace that's not a piece of paper that's going to get left somewhere. And I don't want to clog my planner with everything, because then I'm going to have to go back and search for that specific list. But one of the lists I have is people that want to buy Juice Plus. So these are people that have said, I want to order. Hey, I would like to order. Can you send me a link? But nothing ever happens, right? I know you guys have those too, where in one day I just sat down and wrote it out, and it was a significant list. It was like 10 people that I was like, oh my gosh, they really have said, I do want to order, but maybe timing hasn't been right or whatever. And so I aggressively followed through on that list for a while. And I did get a couple of people that went ahead and placed their orders. And then I just kind of forgot about the list. And this morning it came back to my mind. Actually, it was last night. And I thought, okay, I'm going to pull that list out again. I'm going to find that note and then see if I can be aggressively helpful to move that forward. And so I also wanted to look up what was so the definition of follow through, right? Like we always say, like follow up, maybe get rid of that, like in your verbiage to them, hey, I'm just following up with you. Maybe that doesn't come across the way that you want it to, but to follow through is continue an action or a task to its conclusion. So bring to completion, bring to a finish, continue to the end. And we like to think that continuing to the end would be to the point that they order, but really it goes beyond that, right? With continuing to help them have a good example or a good experience with Juice Plus, helping them to get to the point where they would want to share Juice Plus with other people and join our team, and helping them, it's just a continuous pattern, like a continual follow through. So you follow through with your follow-up of asking what they thought of the information. You follow through even as they become a customer with making sure they get the product. They're attending events so they don't forget why they're taking Juice Plus. And, all of those steps, following through to help them get to Partner Plus and to QSC, following through with their conversations they're having with people. It's a lot of next step thinking with people. So, do you have a system to be effective with that? And, I've said this before, people don't like to be told what to do, but they do like to choose to be a part of something. And so I think of being bossy as telling somebody what to do. Hey, you need to do this. You should do this. You should have done this. Do this next thing. Let me tell you what you need to do. And with some people, you're like, just give me your card. Why are you arguing about this? You don't need enough fruits and vegetables. Let's go. That's sort of on the bossy side. And it does work for some people. And it does work for some of your, prospects or maybe your family, but probably not the majority, right? So we need to find a way to be helpful, even aggressively helpful, helpful with continuous follow through. So I wanted to see what was the definition of helpful. And obviously, we know sort of what that definition was, but I wanted to know what are some of the other words that are similar to helpful. And if you guys think of like, I don't want to be a salesperson, but I do want to be helpful, listen to what this definition or similar words to the word helpful. So the definition is giving or ready to give help. So being open, like ready to see the need in somebody else, ready to open up and share with them, ready to, pass along information, ready to listen. We're so quick to tell, but are we really listening to people? We've talked about that a lot, but here's what the other words that were similar: eager to help, friendly, pleasant, kind, accommodating, considerate, thoughtful, supportive, cooperative, sympathetic, caring, hospitable, neighborly, charitable, benevolent, and I just loved all of that. I was like, I can only hope that the people in my life would say those things about me, right? That they see me as helpful and not bossy. I don't want to be thought of as bossy. I didn't like being bossed around as a kid. I think I was bossy as a child. It doesn't really work well with friendships or relationships with our spouse, right? Like nobody likes to be told what to do, but they like to choose to be a part of something. And so it's this fine line of being helpful and aggressive with that, not aggressive like irritating, but enough to have the follow through, the next step thinking to move things along, right? Because when we just leave things to other people's timeline, it's completely dependent upon their timeline. But if we just leave it to them to remember to do something, it's just not on their priority list yet, right? Like most of them don't have a strong enough belief in it to move forward right away when we tell them about Juice Plus, or it doesn't have a high enough value in their minds yet before they're going to put their finances towards it. So that does take us following through with people and just keeping the conversation going in a way that is pleasant and friendly and kind and accommodating to them, is considerate and thoughtful, that they feel supported and that we're cooperating with them, that we're sympathetic, that we're caring about them, that we're hospitable to them. Like that's in the way we're looking for. That's the goal, the end game, that they would see that from us. And so, you've heard the saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Looking at your relationships, your conversations with people. I think the older I get, the more bossy I do tend to be, and it's like, I care less about what people think. And so I just think about my grandma that at 95, she would just say what she wanted. And we would be like, Grandma, you can't say that. And she's like, I can. I am 95. And someday, if you live to be 95, you too can say what you want to. And I'm like, I get that. I'm like, I'm 45. I can say that. She had 50 years on me. Oh my goodness. But I get that. The older I get, the more I can be quick to answer and just think that I have the answer. Oh, I've already done that. Whether it's with parenting or in marriage relationship or whatever, I can come to this place of sort of a haughty mindset of like, I've already done that. I've already conquered that. Let me just tell you what you need to do. Most people don't respond well to that unless they've asked you specifically, what should I do? So leaning into questions, being sympathetic with people, being supportive by just continuing to give them pieces of information, but in the same realm, being, some sort of system. Guys, pick a system, whatever it's going to be, write those names down, because it does take our persistence to help move people forward. They're just most likely not going to move on their own. The ones that do, they're the ones that you tell them about Juice Plus and they are like, order right away. Those are also the first ones that will cancel. Have you guys ever noticed that? They are the quickest ones to cancel. Those that I can never get to an event, I sweat bullets over that customer because I'm like, I have to get her to an event. She's going to cancel, because it's so easy to just see the payment And if they don't have this like amazing response, or experience right away, then that value just is not high enough to hold the weight of that payment when their husband says, what is this? What is this juice? Like there's every month you've got this order coming out. What is this? Like, do you even use this? Are you finding value? Does it help? And they're like, oh yeah, I do think it's good. But, they're the first ones that are going to cancel. And so, making sure that they really understand what Juice Plus is, and then the continuous education of those events. It's just super important. So, I want to switch gears a little bit to some marketing ideas for us right now in this season of the year. We want our name to be in people's minds as they're already thinking about New Year's resolutions. And so I want to tell you about two things that I have found to be helpful, supportive, thoughtful, that is friendly and it's pleasant, it's kind, it's accommodating to people's schedules, all these things that I'm seeing this list, two things that are coming up that I think are really draw people into the nutritional conversation, that if I'm diligent about leaning in and asking questions, I can help identify their why, but this brings them to the table. Okay, so one is a 10-day mild liver detox, so the cranberry detox. If you guys have never done that before, I'll be surprised because it's pretty wide within the Juice Plus community. And the one that our group is doing starts on the 2nd. You can pick whatever day you want to start it. And we've got some great resources. If you've never seen those resources, just reach out to me. I'll send you some. I think I've got a whole board. I think I can send you guys the link to that. I don't know if you're not paying for boards. Can you get into somebody else's board link, or does it make you just download that? I'm not sure. So if you're only have one board, can you still access somebody else's board, but you can't save it, right? I think that's it. But you could save the images and that sort of thing to your phone. But I'll send that on to you guys. But it's a great, it's an easy, mild detox. You can get people together and do an event around it where you make a batch together and then you can describe what it is. You can do it all virtual to where you're just sharing pieces of information for those that want to do it. If you have a customer group, you guys can post about that in your customer group and share information. And I know you guys would love for me just to give you all the steps. This is exactly what you do, and this is it, and this is the verbiage and all of it. You're going to have to just kind of play with it, find what works. This is not the only time you'll ever do it, but it brings people to the conversation. And so I don't have like day 1 post this, day 2 post this in your customer group. I don't have all of those resources, but I'll give you guys what I have. And then I just encourage you to run with it, do with it what you want. But I can make a post about it, which I will today. And you will be shocked how many people are like, hey, I want in. Yes, I want in. And anyone that's a partner, I can share information with you, but I'm not going to add you to our customer group. You should have a customer group of your own, and you can take the information and do with it what you want, right? I don't want to be bossy and tell you guys what to do, but I will try to be aggressively helpful to get you to do your own, because that's truly where you own it and you learn it. Okay. So I'll share what I have, but it's an easy detox. It's easy to comply with. It doesn't taste horrible. It's cranberry juice, lemon juice, water, and apple cider vinegar. And you drink like a shot of it before each meal. And it does detox you. By day 4, I'm typically like just kind of drained and a little bit tired. And then after that, it picks up and you're like, oh, this is great. So that's one that you can post about it. People will say, oh, I want in. It's not Juice Plus, but it sure lends to the Juice Plus conversation. And if you lean in and you ask questions and you find out what their needs are, they will lead you right to the Juice Plus solution that you're able to offer them. But they will see that you were helpful. You were concerned about their health enough that you're willing to lead this group in this detox, and they'll want in. I don't even care if they comply. I don't even care if they buy the cranberry juice or the lemon juice. That 10-day detox is not going to have the impact on their health that getting them on Juice Plus will. Okay. It's simply something to bring the conversation about, and it attracts and it draws people to you, and it lends to the, hey, Stacy's a helpful person and she's doing this detox with us. Whether they do it or not, I don't care. I think it's great. And I'm encouraging them to, and it will be helpful to them if they do. But that's not my goal to make sure they all drink it every single day. My goal is to collect a list of people that are now interested in their health, that have some need that they felt like they need a detox. Do we know that Juice Plus helps detox our bodies? Yes. So that's where they're going to get the biggest impact. That's the direction and the goal of the conversations is to move them forward in that. The second one is the company announced they're going to do some sort of 10-day reset, 10-day shred. They said they're going to name it something else this year. Last year we did it and it was company wide. That means they're going to have a ton of materials for us and posts that we can make. They're going to really be supporting us with that. I think the first call is December 15th, if I'm not wrong. So be watching for that from your people. But again, that's something that we can post about that draws people to us, that attracts them to us. So I don't want to wait until the new year to start having that conversation. The detox, the 10-day detox right now is just to bring the conversation, bring people to the table and keep myself in people's minds. So when then they are going to be making health choices, that they still remember, oh yeah, Stacy was helpful with that. She did that detox. Maybe I should do that. What is this new reset that she's talking about? It just keeps us forefront of people's minds as they're moving forward in their health goals this year. So those are two ways that you can easily market yourself as somebody that's helpful, aggressively helpful. Fine, let's go with that. And helping give resources to them to be able to move forward in their health journey, and that you're going to walk along with them. So I've loved the information you guys have been sharing in our Voxer chat about the soup in a jar. That's so fun. You know, that really doesn't make sense when it's in the summer. Salad jars do make more sense, right? So you're just moving, again, that's just a way to help move people forward on their health journey and walk with them. So I love that you guys have been sharing those resources and that we get to have ideas from each other. So I'm just going to end again for those of you that have hopped on recently, just letting you guys know I've discontinued the DMO app. I just found we weren't bringing in enough income to pay for the application itself. And I don't think it was serving our community as well as I had hoped. And I don't want to be spinning my wheels and you guys not being served either. So I'll be compiling that information in something. I don't know exactly what. I'm going to lean on AI to help me with that. And my super smart husband, I put him on the task yesterday. He was like, all right, I need your help with this. So it'll be a fun project to bring it to something that we'll all be able to use that information sort of compiled. And so we'll see what that looks like, but I wanted you guys to know. So if you see a refund on your in your checking account from me, that's what that was for. But all right, I'm going to end the recording. Actually, I'll open it up to you guys. Does anyone else want to add anything about the December detox or the reset that's going to be coming up as we think about aggressively helping people this new year? Anyone want to add anything?
When is the detox, the cranberry detox?
For the group that I'm in, we're starting it on the 2nd, but you can start it whenever you want.
Of December or January?
December.
Oh, December. Okay.
Yeah. And we've just kind of found people are like, oh, I ate terrible for Thanksgiving and Halloween. And so, you know, Christmas is coming up. And so it seems to work well between, and just try to pick a 10-day window that there's only one weekend. That's where people have the hardest point. So you could do like the 4th through the 14th if you wanted to, but you know, people are always like, no, I have to start something on Monday. But again, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not as concerned of how many people are actually drinking the drink. It's just it's before every meal, Debbie. So she asked, was it after every meal? It's before every meal. I don't even remember to do it 3 times a day. So like usually I'm good twice a day and I'll put that in there.
And I think that's easier than the shred. So it doesn't really matter if there's a weekend in there, you know, how many weekends you're just drinking the drink. It's not like all the shred guidelines that are so strict that people have a hard time complying with.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I know I'm not usually on here, but hi DMOpro people. Hey, this is way easier than the shred, and it's going to be way more popular. If you put a post onto your wall people go crazy. Put it in your community group, your neighborhood group. I'm telling you, people will go crazy. They love this thing. Love it.
They do.
I want to link to that board if you don't mind, Stacy. I don't think I'm in any of your groups that you're going to be sharing that in. So if you could text me or put it in here either way.
Yeah, for sure. I do need to update it. I want to just see, it's been like since last year I even added anything to it. So I want to make sure it's still relevant before I share it out. I can share some of the newer images too that are in there with the dates. So
it's okay. I have about 30 minutes till I need it.
okay. I'll be sure I'll put it in there quickly.
Thank you.
And Doug is doing really helping out a lot, him and Karen, with our Facebook group. And as an extension of marketing, your group can be a big, help to that. And you can say, like, in our group, we're like, I forget how many people are in the group, Doug, a couple thousand, right?
We probably have like 3,000 or 4,000.
Yeah.
We use it as a prospect group now. So you don't have to just invite to the detox. You could say, hey, my healthy community is doing a detox in December. It's a cranberry drink. Let me know if you want to be invited in. Once they're in that group, now we're posting all the time about health topics, recipes. And then in January, we'll run that shred. We do some Juice Plus posts. So what used to be the customer group has become the health group. And it's really effective at just kind of corralling your prospects into one place. The hard part is figuring out whose prospect in there, because it can go on for years and years. But we haven't had any real problems with that yet.
Yeah. And I know you guys will say, can you add me into your customer group? And I'm sorry, we cannot. So because I want to encourage you, you need to have your own customer group. And if you're like, I don't know how to do a Facebook group, somebody on your team does. Find those people, find maybe someone younger than you that is more active. And that's a great way to encourage them to be a part of, the team and the support that you guys all give. But it won't work as well as if we just put you and your people into our group. If you're never posting, they don't see your post in there. It doesn't continue the conversation with you. It continues the conversation with us. And you need to have your own support group with that. So we can give you guys some of the tools and resources, and then I'm just going to encourage you to run with it. If you're in our group, it's too easy to be passive. And I'm speaking to myself because I've been super passive in our Facebook groups lately, just have not been putting the time to post in there. And if I was in charge of it, it was my Facebook group and I'm the leader of it, I would be posting in there, right? So it's easy to get passive when you're in a group, but I'm going to be saying, hey, does anyone want to join me? And about 3,000 of my friends, we're doing this detox this year. That sounds like what? And you'll have people say, I want the information. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. And then you got to go back and say, okay, I sent you the information. I sent you the information. And in a private message, you send them all the information. So if 50 people comment saying they want in, and you say, and you comment 50 people back, I sent you the information, then that's 100 comments on there, which boosts your how many people are going to see your post, because it's part of the Facebook algorithms that like, this person is relevant, and there's a big conversation going, and your post will be seen by more people. It's just like this great cycle that keeps helping. Marcia, you're unmuted. Did you have a question for us?
I was going to kind of change gears, but this is also good. I'm afraid to change gears now, but another thing is, it's kind of along these lines, but it really is a different conversation. That is Black Friday. We don't really know what the Black Friday thing is, but that's something else that we need to figure out how to communicate appropriately. So I don't know if you want to go that direction, fine. If not, don't worry. Maybe we can talk about it some other time, or in the chat.
I can say, if you are wanting more people to see you post about that, then you might want to wake up your Facebook algorithms and get some conversations going, right? So this conversation of the 10-day detox can wake up that Facebook page of yours to where more people are going to see if you do post or when you post about this Black Friday deal. I don't know what it is. We don't know what it's going to be, and it will probably be short-lived, just for a couple of days. I'm guessing they will do some marketing towards our customers already. And I was encouraged by this last promo that they did of, it was pretty simple and we didn't seem to have issues with people placing those orders and getting the orders and like the links worked and that sort of thing. So that was helpful.
I was going to mention also on that, on just what you were talking about before, Stacy, I opened it up to 3 or 4 other NMD teams and I said, in order for you to accept this, I put requirements in there. You have to be one of the shred leaders once a month, and then you have to volunteer for that and your team has to contribute. And it's been a lot. It's like, and then also if you have a lot of people in that group, because of the Facebook, they're all, I remember when Mitra said everybody needs to create their own board, their own Facebook page for customer, because after about 350, you don't see what was supposed to be posted on day 5. It's rode all the way down. It's just it's too hard. And it's not effective at all. It takes a lot of work and a lot of attention on that page. So I totally understand the reason why you're cutting it off, because 3,000, I'm really trying to keep on ours underneath the 800, and it's like somebody else will ask and I'm like, no, we're closing it down. And so, yeah, because of all the other NMDs, they should be having their own, really.
Yeah. And if you don't have a Facebook group, go up. Somebody in your upline does that you can be a part of. Maybe some of you guys start working together. Like Alita said, she found like 4 other NMDs that were willing to help her with it. You guys can sideline help each other. I mean, sidelines are some of the best to work with because you're not emotionally tied to their business and they're not emotionally tied to yours either. And so that can be a great partnership to work together. So that's a great point, Alita. Don't do it alone. See if there's already a group you can tap into from your upline or work together and start one.
And Stacy, I would add a tip that I use. Those that have been generous enough to add me to their customer group, not to be a participant, I just lurk there and I get some fabulous ideas from them. And they're some in my upline, some are sideline buddies, but I'll go look up those groups and just see what they're doing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Or honestly, I copy and paste their posts sometimes and put them in our group because that's an easy way to quick. It's very quick. When you see something really good, then just copy and paste it into your own group. It's not going to bother them because you're in a private group. And we're all about sharing, right? So that's another tip. Is just don't forget about the groups you might be in that are sidelined to you or even upline to you and kind of, steal their stuff.
Marsha, you'd make them really happy. You'd make them really happy if you contributed to that page.
Oh, well, and I would really love to know how to do that. I mean, I like and I comment, but I don't comment like I'm really taking from. I'm not asking them to do something from. I'm not asking questions or whatever.
Yeah, that's really good to do that.
Yeah.
Really good to do that because it sees more engagement and also shows everybody, wow, this is a new person that's making a comment. And just like, I really enjoy eating this way because of that or whatever, just adding value.
Right. But I never want to be a burden in those groups. So I don't ever ask.
Not at all. Seriously.
I just comment and like in those groups, just to, like you said, for those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I put the detox board in there that I haven't even looked at it since last year. So I don't even remember what that is. I just went and found it and pulled it out pulled the link out and put it in there. I will put it in the Voxer chat as well. And yeah, I think this has been a great conversation, guys. I'm excited to see what you do with it. Borrow each other's posts. Do not share somebody else's post. That's not effective. You need to copy and paste, make your own post, do it with your own face, do a live video, do a reel, do whatever, but it needs to be authentically yours. If you just hit the share button, super passive, super easy, super ineffective. Think of it that way.
It won't work. It won't work because it's a private page.
Yep. Facebook, and yeah, if it's in a group, it's a private group. It's not even going to work anyway. But even if you see something on my wall and you're like, "Oh, Stacy said that really well," I'll just share hers and see if any of my friends want to join me. Don't do it that way. Don't hit the share button. Make your own post. Take the information. I don't care if you use the same information, but take it and make your own post with your own picture, because Facebook will not let as many people see your shared post as they will your authentic post of your own. So it's not effective. It's easy, but it's not as effective. And then you'll be frustrated. See, this doesn't work. No, none of my Facebook friends are interested. It's because none of them saw it, because you just didn't do it the way that Facebook wants you to do it. So hope that is helpful to you guys. Thank you again for being on with us, and just super thankful for each one of you guys. And have a great weekend. Week. I will say I'm not going to do a call next week. I will put a recording in for you guys to listen to. That's like one that we did a couple years ago about Thanksgiving intentions. I think just being super intentional during Thanksgiving week and when you're around more family and that sort of thing. But my kids will be here, and I just want to spend some time with them. And I know some of you guys will be traveling and that sort of thing. So I'll put that in next week for you guys to listen, but we won't hop on Zoom together. So, all right. Thank you guys for making
Thank you. Very encouraging. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.